All right, so if you just tuned in, it's our ladies' night out, and we're discussing freedom of expression and asking where do we draw the line, both as citizens, we're talking to ourselves, and also on the part of government in their attempt to seemingly gag us, all the time. Please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join this conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. Our phone line is also open now. Please, when you call, try to keep your conversation within a minute. Turn off the volume of your TV. I would ask the people at the back end to switch it off. If I hear myself from your television, please. It delays and it doesn't help as well. But let me come to Uti. So before we went on the break, you heard everything that we've all said, right? You were asking for the way forward, the solution. What do you think a way forward or what a solution can look like, right? Of course, we already told the government their approach to the Twitter ban was completely wrong. And I think even they themselves, they are beginning to realize that it was a flawed, very, very flawed.
No, they're not.
I was about to say that. Thank you, Marianne.
No, where is saying? No, they're not.
But they called for meeting now.
Honey,
which meeting?
That meeting was why our business they concern you. We know say una sabi do freedom of speech. Leave us. It's our country. That's it. Did they tell you what they said in the meeting? They just gave you surface details. That's it.
Okay, Utio, over to you.
See, thank you, Marianne. We're so easily distracted. They just need to dangle small and then we're like, we are here. So in terms of solutions, right? Look, there are so many ways to talk about this. There's so many ways to think about this. First of all, from a Nigerian perspective, we all need to decide, and I don't know how this is, how do we teach people to become good citizens of a country that has zero accountability, that has no governance? Because a lot of the things that we see, what we're talking about freedom of expression today, freedom of expression, the one that is causing problem is the one that concerns Nigeria. Is when people are talking about how they feel about this nation, how they feel about our leaders. And one thing that I have noted, I'm very careful with my words. That's just my own personal beliefs. But we have all, as Nigerians, become so accustomed to speaking so negatively about our nation that if words were writing our future, we don't kill everything possible, we have killed it.
True.
Because we no longer have a belief in this nation. We have nothing that we believe is worth fighting for. Our young people today believe that Nigeria is a country designed to kill dreams and take lives. And they're not lying. Again, like I said, everybody's truth. People's lives have been lost needlessly. Like we said, people are running businesses. People want to come and invest in Nigeria. And then government just wields the long hand of the government because it's not even long hand of the law. And they wipe it out overnight. So how do I want to tell people that you should come to Nigeria or you should take Nigeria seriously? But for me, that's where this starts. If we're looking at wanting a solution today, our government needs to embrace freedom of expression in the right way. They need to start having the conversations that matter. We need to come back and appreciate the value of a round table and the conversations that can be had there from a place of truth, from a place of trust, and a place of actually wanting progress. Because we have had conversations for 20 years without getting anything out of it. PIB, case in point. So when we say that, Nigerians are very amenable people. And what do I mean by that? We only need a little. Look at the conversation that just happened now. They've had a meeting. All of a sudden, we're looking for positivity. I think God gave that to us as an innate.
God showed the future.
So we could survive in this part of the world.
Our elasticity is pretty, it's stretchy.
So we just need you to give us a little. We're so used to doing everything for ourselves that, in fact, at this point, I'll just take security. Don't give me anything else, eh? See, just give me security and I'm okay. So I was saying to someone the other day that, you know that if this government just said now that, you know what, every faction that has a problem, come to the table. Do you know that we could have this conversation for the next 20 years and Nigerians will be okay? The problem I see today is that there is no call for dialogue. Everything is authoritarian And this is not easy for me to say because you all know how I feel about democracy in Nigeria. I don't really think it's a model that works for us. So for me to come out and say this, you know that it's paining me. That we need to have these conversations. People need to feel like they're part of Nigeria. Right now, Nigeria is just happening to all of us. You, me, everybody.
I love what
happening.
Uti, I love what you're saying because again, I will still go back to the president's interview. I was just chuckling on my bed this morning when I was watching it. You know, part of what I perceived when he was talking, you know, he kept on saying like, when the youth almost like pushing the blame, you know, not taking responsibility. See, part of coming to the round table is come with vulnerability as well. The reason I'm able to communicate with my children, for instance, is because most times I show them that I'm also prone to mistakes. You cannot, as a person, believe that everything that you have done is right. And they ask you questions about being sectional in terms of your appointments, and you're trying to say, oh, if the person is qualified and all of that. It doesn't make sense. You cannot tell me, because we are a people of diverse culture. Diversity is is supposed to be our strength as a people. Yeah. But now it's looking every day like this is our biggest weakness. And so when a set of people now say they want to be out of this drama and they want to be on their own, you're not forcing them. You know, you cannot not have those conversations. And part of this way forward, it is for you to take those and make those difficult conversations, because those are the difficult conversations you must be able to face on head on, but with integrity and sincerity of heart, to say we truly want this nation to work. But let me come to Marianne.
Absolutely, you are hitting the nail on the head. I'm going to be very diplomatic about this one.
Okay, sorry, Marianne, 1 minute. Let me just take Charles from Delta State, I think, or is it Port Harcourt? Charles, thank you for calling us.
Uwa and cool. I think people are really having a nice one there.
Thank you.
I've been listening to your colleague there, Uti, or so. She has really spoken most of the things I have in my mind. I was listening to the president today in a sister station. It was an interview that was granted to him when he was saying things about the youth, about what happened at the Lekki toll gate, and was seeing it as if it was an attempt to bring down his government.
Yes.
And I was like, wow. I was surprised. And so it's now what they tagged it. And that was really very unfortunate. What this government is all about is every time you say anything, try to express yourself, they'll say, I think this one is a PDP man, no longer see money to steal, they're hungry. That's why they are reacting like this way. Even when you have their main issue, constructive issue, and the way they react is as if maybe you have an agenda separate, which is our fundamental right. Our ability to want to express ourselves is our fundamental right. It's granted in the Constitution. So, I mean, it's really very unfortunate that up till now, this government doesn't see anything wrong. As in, they don't see anything good in accepting criticism, and which is very unfortunate.
Thank you, Charles.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Charles. Let me come to you, Marianne.
I was going to say that I was going to juxtapose this government with the Jonathan administration. I remember that publication where Goodluck Jonathan did say that his administration was the most abused. I'm imagining if this administration got half the abuse that administration had, I don't know what would have happened to us. And it beats my imagination that the same group of people who are in this government are the same group of people who protested, who went on the streets. Nobody tear gassed them. Nobody broke their necks. Nobody sent soldiers to them. The same group of people rode on the wings of social media and propaganda, yes, to be in this leadership. Yes, we know that the Goodluck administration was not the best, hence why Nigerians were asking for a better leadership. They saw a general, they saw a no-nonsense person,
an anti-corruption
someone who
agent.
They thought had nothing to lose, was not going to politicize the growth and the progress of this country, and they cast their votes against all odds, against all the pleadings of people saying, you don't know this person. They voted for you. All of those things you rode on their wings, you have totally jettisoned them. They have become enemies of the state. How do you want the people who you are governing to feel? You make us look like the enemy. So where is room for criticism?
And if once you
leadership
start that,
is supposed
you
to
can't
have,
even hear anything that they're saying because he kept on saying that,
Yeah.
like, as if they are fighting his government.
That's,
But let me take
and
Richard.
that's what Uti said. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys. What Uti said was we need to start having those conversations. You can only have those conversations when the leader is willing to listen and take into consideration the things that you have said. But if it's like pouring water on the back of a chicken, there's no need.
Absolutely. Let me take Richard, then I'll come to you, Jennifer. Richard, are you there? Thank you for calling.
Yes, good evening, guys.
Hi, Richard.
Yes, when I was listening to that interview, I listened to it with so much joy, but I felt so heartbroken when I discovered that it was not a live interview. That is one. During the interview, the president said something that I've always told people that will happen and that happened. The ban on Twitter was a chop of anger from the EndSARS riot of 2020. And if you know very well, there's a proposed process that is supposed to take place on the 12th of June. So they don't want a repeat of that. So what they needed to do was ban and shut down this Twitter so that no voice will be heard behind. When that protest was going on last year, the EndSARS protest, the youth nationwide were all together in one point. But the powers that be have to bring in a narrative in that this protest was meant to bring down the government of the president. And that was why the youth up north now started to have a counter protest. That's an agenda. I've said this 1 million times as an agenda. Good evening, guys.
Thank you. We can't really say about the agenda, but let me hear Jennifer. Thank you, Richard.
Again, I would say that a lot of people are expecting so much from the presidency. Someone who, like you were talking about Jonathan and how they had to kick him out and all of that, and the president made a lot of promises. As a then, I didn't expect much because I remember having a conversation with my dad and people that were way older and asked a lot of questions. And I heard the conversations that they were having. And it was very obvious that as he was coming into seat, he wasn't coming with anything. Like people were saying, oh, he should listen to us, he should be very critical and open his ears and all. What makes you think that he plans to do that?
But he promised to.
I don't.
He promised to.
People make promises. That's the thing. The thing is, he made promises just to get into that seat. I don't think he ever had any plan to fulfill it.
I don't want to believe that.
Exactly.
I don't
I don't
think
want
he
to
had
believe
any
that.
Do you know
plan
why
to
I
fulfill
support
it.
her? Because we have had people who wanted to run for office in this country, but we've not had people who have been so eager to take office as this
And
president.
that was why there was so much
4
high
times.
expectations.
4 times.
Yeah.
You would expect that this man had a drawing board filled with strategies on how to take Nigeria from where it was to promised land, if there be any such thing. But then 1 year into it, 2 years, we all realized that one chance.
Well, it's
You
like
know,
hot
you know,
water.
you know, when people apply for jobs, one of the skills people put on their CV, especially people who are probably business developers or partnership managers or account managers, one of the skills that you need to have is strategic thinking.
Our president has it, he's just not bringing it to bear.
Uti, your final thoughts, because we ran out of time.
What to say? What to say? I would just leave it at the fact that, we are talking about freedom of expression, and it is a right. But I will call on all my fellow citizens. I know that I love Nigeria, and I know most of the people that I know, we truly love this country.
Yeah,
I just call on everyone to be responsible.
that's it.
We have no other country. Whether you think that you have a passport, you have a visa, you have somewhere to run to. We're a country of 206 million people. Anything goes wrong in this country today, it will be like a plague on West Africa. Nigeria is the cold that the world cannot afford to catch.
Absolutely.
So please,
Thank you
let
so
us
much.
be responsible.
Yeah.
Let us speak our minds. Let us do so with a modicum. I always say it, and I know people say I'm idyllic. 2 wrongs don't make a right, So let us please have a measure of that in the back of our minds, that not everybody is as literate as we are, and things can be misconstrued. We saw how the peaceful protests were taken advantage of. Everything can be taken advantage of. So please don't allow yourself to be a vessel for that.
Thank you so much, Uti. So I'll come to you, Jennifer, then I'll give
If there is anything I want to say is, I think I want to implore people to be very careful this period. I feel like a lot of people are still underestimating the government. Be careful what you say, what you do, where you go to, and especially what you do. Because as it is right now, the country isn't safe. So just make sure that you protect yourself and protect every other person around you. This is not the time to be careless. This is not the time to say things anyhow just because you feel you have the freedom of expression. Just be very, very careful.
Thank you. How about you, Miriam?
Succinctly put, I think we should all ask ourselves the question, what type of Nigeria do I want? If the type of Nigeria you want is a peaceful Nigeria, a Nigeria where people's lives are valued, a Nigeria where your voice can be heard, how do you want that voice to be heard? Do not do it like a radical, because of course that is a call for an action that you may not be able to live to see. So just as they all said, there's nothing more to add. Watch what you say. Because what you say, there's power in your tongue, there's power in spoken word. And another person, you might say go, and another person will hear tear down. So let's be very careful, clear in our statements. Don't let your anger get the best of you.
Absolutely.
Do what's best for your country.
Absolutely. I will just finally leave this to the government, because they've said to us as citizens, but to the government, I would say that not every time someone speaks out means that they are after your government. You need to be able to calm down and listen to your people. Right? If you go into the streets, you will see this hunger there. You will see people actually suffering when you go on the streets to see them. And I don't think you would wish that even for your enemies, not to talk about the people that put their lives in your hands, they entrusted their lives in your hands. So as government, please, let us just all calm down and listen to each other. That's what I would say. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you, Marianne, for doing this with us. Thank you, Uti. Thank you, Jennifer. We had an amazing conversation. Thank you to everyone that called. The ones that tried to call, we're sorry. The time is always so short. So before we go, do ensure you follow us on Instagram at PlusTvAfrica. You can also interact with us further, drop a comment. Most importantly, we're planning a very huge giveaway. So to say thank you to you for watching and believing in the Ways brand. So follow the conversation online and on Instagram. Like, share. Remember to also invite your friends to watch us as well. So in case you missed today's quote, here it is again. If liberty means anything at all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear. That's liberty. We must be able to give people that freedom to just express themselves without having to go at each other. We'll see you live at 8 p.m. tomorrow as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Enjoy.